So what's up guys, it's Ash here and welcome back to a brand new video. Sorry for the no upload yesterday, but I hadn't really been playing any games, so I couldn't really post a video, and that is partially why today's video is a bit later as well, as I had to play a few more games just before I got the video out today. But yeah, in today's video guys, we do have some 4-1-2-1-2 narrow custom tactics and player instructions for you, and I hope they can really help you out if you are struggling in this game. And yeah, with all that aside guys, let's get right into the video. If you guys want coins for FC24, make sure you check out MMOEXP.com. Their link is down in the description. They're very fast, they're very cheap, they're very reliable, and if you use my code Rema, you can get yourself a lovely 5% discount. Alright then guys, so starting off with the tactics, the defensive style, we have this on balanced. Now the reason we have it on balanced is because it does give me the best control over my defense. So if I want to be aggressive in my defense, I can be. If I want to drop off, I can also do that. It does just give me more control, which is why I'm such a big fan of it. You can use whatever you want, however. Moving on to the defensive width, guys, I have this on 45. It's a bit higher than, you know, what I've had recently, and the reason being is because people have just been absolutely blitzing me down the wings, and I don't really like it, of course. So I like to be primarily narrow and compact, so we're a bit under 50, so we're a bit more narrow-minded, but we still have really good coverage of the wider areas to block out the attacks from down the wing also. For the depth, guys, I have this on 60 because I do quite like to have a higher defensive line. I just don't like the automatic press that comes along with 71 depth. It's not really my style. So I do have my depth on 60, but you guys can use a depth which you are comfortable with. It doesn't really matter. For the build-up play, guys, we have this on balance because it does give you the most controlled and varied form of build-up. So if you want to play quickly, you can, and then if you want to switch up and play a bit slower, you can also do that. So balanced is great, guys, and I do recommend it a lot. The chance creation, guys, I would very much recommend direct passing because it's the only setting which will allow you to break through those park the bus defenses. Basically, your attackers will commit these runs with direct passing, and then the defenders will follow that run, and then your attacker will track back so you can cut back to them. So pretty boring tactic, I'll be honest with you guys, but very, very useful nonetheless. Moving on to the attacking width, guys, because it is a more narrow formation, I do go for a lower attacking width. I have this on 38. Not really a specific number you need to use. Some people prefer really narrow widths. Other people like higher widths. It's just whatever you want to use, really. I like 38 because it makes my players closer together in the narrow positions, but they're not too close together either. For the players in the box, guys, I have this on 5. This is bang in the middle, so I can get a few players into the box to finish off the chances. We just don't overcommit absolutely everybody. And then the corners and the free kicks, guys, I have them both on 2, but you guys can do whatever you want with that. It doesn't really matter. For the player instructions, guys, on both of these strikers, we have them on stay central and get in behind. We have them on stay central because we don't really want these players drifting out into the wider areas. They are our strikers. It is a narrow formation, so we want them to primarily be in those central positions as opposed to out wide, as it doesn't really work too well, I don't think. So stay central is great, and then we also have them on get in behind, so they utilize their pace to get in behind the defensive lines. This is especially useful since a lot of people do use 71 depth, and their defensive lines are always crazy high, so this allows you to get in behind and create a lot of chances, guys. Now for the cam, I actually do have him on comeback on defense, and sometimes I have him on get into the box for cross, other times I don't. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. Get into the box for cross is great, but you know, I was just trying something else, so it doesn't really matter which one you use, get in the box or balance crossing runs. And we also have this player on comeback on defense, as it will make it defend in a 4-man midfield. I don't usually suggest this, but with the 4-1-2-1-2, it is especially narrow in the defense, which means you leave way too much space out wide, is what I've noticed. So by putting this player on comeback on defense, he'll come back to defend as a left mid in the 4-4-2. The 4-4-2 is great for defending because it's really good at covering both the narrow areas with the 2 centre mids and the wider areas with the right mid and the left mid, guys. For the left centre mid, I do use a more box-to-box style midfielder. So on this player, we have them on the default settings and then pop them on cover centre. The default settings are great because we don't really want to restrict this player to doing anything. They have a bit of freedom, so we want to just let them do whatever they want, essentially. The only important thing is having them on cover centre so that they do primarily cover those central areas and defend as one of the centre mids in the 4-4-2. Now for the CDM, guys, my more defensive minded player, we have them on stay back and cover centre. Stay back because we don't want them flying forward if they're defensive, of course, and then cover centre so that they will defend as one of the centre mids in the 4-4-2 shape. Moving on to the right centre mid, because this player defends as a right midfielder on the cover wing instruction, because like I said, we have the cam on come back on defence to come back and defend as the left mid, and then on cover wing, this player will defend as a right mid. So you can actually use an attacker here, as you don't actually have to use a centre mid, because that's not where they're going to be when we don't have the ball, if that makes sense. So we can use an actual attacker here. Their defensive stats aren't that important. We can pop them and get into the box for cross and get forward. Just really attacking options, gives you an extra body and can really help you out, guys. For the left back, in my case, the more attacking fullback, it doesn't really matter which one. I have him on balance, attack and overlap. This is just because the formation is obviously very narrow, and sometimes it's useful to have that wider option to help stretch out the opponent's defensive line and give more space for your other attackers, and it also just gives you an outlet, which is really, really nice. And then on the other fullback, guys, my more defensive ones, stay back and overlap, so we have three defenders back at a time, but when we send them on a run forward, they'll make the overlapping runs as well. For the two centre backs, guys, I leave them alone, and the keeper, I also leave them alone. But yeah, they're my tactics for the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow. Hope you guys have enjoyed the video. If you have, please be sure to drop it a like, sub to the channel if you are new, and don't forget to turn on those notifications. And with all that aside, guys, hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you all in the next video.